Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. And today, we're going over the WNBA draft, which was Monday. It is Thursday. I needed some time to get my stuff together and just kind of process my thoughts. Because when I watched the draft at the Phillies game, I was at a Phillies game on my phone watching it. I had mixed feelings at the time because I just had an idea in my head what I wanted. And when it didn't go exactly how I wanted or wasn't sure what was going to happen, you know, as a Sky fan, I need a minute to decompress and do all that stuff. But I want to talk about all sectors of the draft. But let me start with my Chicago Sky. Just get them out of the way, get the bias out of the way. So they had one of the most notable drafts, I would say, out of everyone. Pick 3, they took Camila Cardoso out of South Carolina. I talked about how cool it would be to get Camila on the Sky, and here she is. And I'm super excited for what she can become. I think she's going to be even better than what she was in college. I think she's going to have more to do because I don't think it's going to be more her needing to dominate in a league that's becoming like big dominated. Like they're going to rely on her when you have Asia Wilson, Aaliyah Boston, Breanna Stewart, Jonquel Jones. You know, like it's a big league, right? So just in 6-7, you're going to be absolutely dominant. I think it's going to be very exciting. And then 7, you go and you pick Angel Reese, and now you got the Twin Towers. And initially, I wasn't feeling this pick that much. I thought you could have kept pick 8 and maybe done something that made a little more sense to me. Because I'm thinking like, okay, 2 bigs that can't really shoot. And Angel doesn't move great if I want her at the 4. She's not giving you that speed, right? Which I guess you don't need too much of at the 4, but you want a little bit of it. And I was not sure, but like the more I think of it, it's like the defense is going to be so dominant. It all depends on what you do with the first 3, with the rest of the front court, and then the guards. And you have Diamond DeShields, right? You have Dana Evans. You have Marina Mabrey. You have Izzy Harrison, who maybe can slide and play some 3, right? Or maybe she can come off the bench, or maybe Angel's going to come off the bench. You don't know, but like you have options on what you can do in the front court. And regardless, it's going to be crazy defensively. And like Camila said, you're not going to be able to grab a rebound. These are elite rebounders. And then you go to the second round with our last pick, and you got Brianna Maxwell, sharpshooter. I wanted like a Nika Mule with this pick, and I think Nika Mule might have been a good pick either way. But with Maxwell, you really go with a need-based pick, which is you need someone who can shoot the 3, and she can. I'm reading right here. Nearly 62% of Maxwell's field goal attempts were from the 3-point range. Her future will depend solely on 3-point accuracy, which dropped from 48% to 44%, which is like otherworldly to really, really elite. So it's like either of those percentages I'll take. So she's an elite 3-point shooter out of Gonzaga. Can't complain too much about that. Overall, with the Sky draft, I'd probably give him a B. I think the fit still could have been better. And I think you could have saved future assets. Like, you do a pick swap with Minnesota for the 7th pick. And it's like, well, okay, if we're not that good next year and the Lynx are really good, we're going to have a bad pick. They're going to have a really good pick. And another good draft with Paige Beckers, all this. You know, it's like that. Part of me is like that, but then the other part is like I like the aggressiveness. I think this is going to be exciting. I think it's exciting to invest in a team this year. The excitement aspect for a lot of people from the Chicago Sky went up dramatically. So you can't hate it that much. Now, of course, let's talk about the Caitlin Clark pick. No one was really shocked, right? Caitlin Clark goes 1. You're just waiting for that to happen. And then round 2, they go and get Celeste Taylor. And point guard of Ohio State, really good player. Get you guard depth. That's fine, right? And then I think that might be it for the Fever. Oh, you got Leilani Correa from Florida, another point guard. So a lot of guard depth. And I just think maybe those two guards don't make the team. And then you have Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark. Sorry. You have Caitlin Clark. And it's like, you got Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and that guard big tandem should be one of the best in the league in a few years, if not maybe the first 1 or 2 years, if Caitlin Clark's game translates. Because Aaliyah Boston's game translated fantastic, and she's an elite big, an elite player in the league, period. Caitlin Clark, we'll see. I think people are expecting it to translate well. We'll just have to see. I think she'll be fine. I think she'll translate fine. So I think that'll be a fun duo to watch. I think they'll compete pretty soon. I think I'm not going to talk about every team, but I wanted to highlight some moves, right? Because a lot happened, right? A lot happened. So my big time winner in this draft was the Los Angeles Sparks. I mean, talk about really setting yourself up for an elite future with a team that already had good pieces in Zaya Cook, and you just trade for Kia Nurse, and then you have De'Erica Hamby. So you have solid pieces, right? And then you go and add cornerstones to your future. Cameron Brink with the second pick. She's going to be an elite defender, an elite scorer eventually. And then Rickea Jackson, who is an engine of a whole team. Both sides of the floor, just elite. Out of Tennessee, Rickea Jackson at 4. And it's those two picks are building blocks to a franchise that you already have solid pieces to. So it's you lose Nneka Ogwumike, you lose these players, but it's now you're immediately into your next era. And that's the best thing you can ask for, right? It's really, really cool. Dallas Wings, I really like the J.C. Sheldon pick. I think there were probably better players on the board, but take a need, right? You have your bigs that you want in Kehlani Brown, in Satu Sabali. Rike Gumbawali is there, right? Elite player. Now you put J.C. Sheldon right next to her, you could have a really good backcourt along with your front court, and they're going to be scary. They are going to be scary. Trust that. Alyssa Pillai going to the Lynx is a really good pick. She is gonna shore up that front court for him, and she's a pick and pop player. She's gonna get you in the post, but then she can stop, pop, make the midi. So really, really good player here. I really like that pick. I really like the Aaliyah Edwards pick from the Mystics. I think that if you're rebuilding with Shakira, I think putting her, you have 2 building blocks, and you're going to be in a good spot, right? They might be one of the worst teams in the league this year, but that's okay. I think New York not taking Nika Mule at 11 was probably that's probably going to be a miss for them. I think letting her drop to Seattle is gonna come back to bite. So if I had to, so my winner is the Los Angeles Sparks. My loser, if I had to pick one, it might be the Liberty, because I feel like everything you need depth, right? You couldn't beat the Aces because you didn't have enough, right? And you had an opportunity to bring in a Nika Mule who would fit in with that team perfectly, and you don't. And it's you hope Jessica Carter is going to work out, right? And maybe she will. But it's just you feel like the opportunities were there and just maybe didn't go for it. Oh yeah, and then in the first round they took Marquisha Davis. So yeah, it's you hope she works out. You hope she fits in. Also, kind of overstates what you like. It's kind of redundant for what you need, and I don't know if it was the right pick there. But hey, maybe it'll work out. So yeah, and last shout out is the Las Vegas Aces. They got Fair, and they got what was the last player they got? Really good player. They got Liz Kitley out of Virginia Tech, who she's gonna be hurt, so she's not gonna play next year. She'll not play this year. She'll play next year. So yeah, let me know what you think. Who were your winners? Who do you think were the losers? And what are you excited for this season? Thanks for watching. Comment, follow, subscribe, do all that. Peace.